Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another pre-market watch list here today. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in to our pre-market watch list. Basically, we're here to break down a couple stocks each day to help you guys pre-market watch list here today. Thank you guys as what it is that you might trade for the day. All right, and answer a few questions along the way. So thank you guys again for tuning in. We're going to get into screen share here soon. We're just going to wait for some more people to get into the stream for it to populate a little bit, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. So main stocks that are going to be on watch today are going to be Apple. Apple had their earnings play yesterday after hours. We have seen them take a very big move to the downside. Really, they did very well in terms of money made, but it does appear as the forecast doesn't look very good, and they're not going to be providing unit sale reports anymore, and that was a big factor that a lot of people liked about Apple in terms of the earnings in the company, is that they would release the amount of units that they have sold per item, and now it appears they're not going to be doing that. So some people are seeing this as a shady tactic to, in other words, maybe hide some information so people don't know exactly what they're selling. So there's a lot of kind of controversy around this particular topic, but at the end of the day, since we're going to be trading it, it is what it is. Okay, so thank you guys all again for tuning in, right? Next one on the watch is going to be Alibaba. So for Alibaba, they had earnings too. I believe their earnings were actually pretty good. They popped up to 160. They from there have sold off, so that's going to be a pretty active one. There's a few other earnings plays out there that we might touch on a little bit, but with no further ado, let's get into the screen share here. Okay. All right, guys. So starting here with Apple, we're gonna look at this particular guy. So first things first here with Apple, looking at a 180-day chart or just a 4-hour chart, you'll see their earnings. They went from a high of 223 all the way to a low of 205 in after hours trading. So they've taken a big move down. It's still sort of trending to the downside right now. So if we look at this, we'll do a 5-minute chart. You can see on a 5-minute chart, you see the drop in after hours, then the bounce from 205 into pre-market trading today, and it's rolling back down. It's at about $208. So, a couple things we could see happen. We could see this turn into somewhat of a double bottom, and then it bounces. Okay. We might just see Apple fall right through the pre-market supports of 206 and 205 and head lower. So it's very dependent too on what the market wants to do. So that's another thing to make sure you keep an eye on, maybe the S&P or the Dow Jones today at the same time if you're going to be trading Apple. The jobs report does come out, and I think it already did. Let's see. So the jobs report probably just came out 9 minutes ago. So we'll see what that turns out to be. So there is a jobs report to come out today. So again, follow the S&P, follow Apple. We're going to see if Apple turns into a short play below the 205 pre-market low area. If it breaks 205, we could see Apple down to maybe lows of 200 on the day. That's a possibility. But again, there's a lot of people that love Apple, and consumer sentiment behind the stock is still positive. So we might just see this earnings play get bought right up. So I'm on both sides of the fence, both watching short and both watching long. For me, to get short, it would have to be a very nice clean break of the pre-market low, or it would have to be on a rejection of probably the $214 price. If it gets back up to here and it struggles, then I might short it from that point. If it shows strength down here and continues to show strength here, then I might look to long on a reverse play for the day. Okay, so next one going forward is going to be Alibaba. So Baba had earnings, they gapped up and they were up all the way to 160, but 160 is a pretty major resistance, okay? So you can see 160, major resistance here. So it's starting to sell off from this point. So I do think with the way it's turning out, we're going to actually see a bounce, right? It's coming down to the previous high levels of yesterday's trading day. So you can see all through here. That's where it's coming down to. So it's coming down to a nice support. So I do believe we'll probably see Alibaba bounce on this guy out of the gates. That's a possibility since we're down into the support area. So if Alibaba can hold this good support in the 152s area, maybe 150s pre-market, and as the bell opens, I think we could see a nice long play occur out of these pre-market low areas, okay? All right, next thing to take a look at is going to be, I'll look at PXS real fast. So PXS, if you look at this daily chart, it looks really good, right? It's got a nice curl to it. It's just kind of heading up. It is a bit overextended, but people have still been buying it up. So this thing's kind of getting a lot of attention right now. It's starting to pick up in attention because, you know, it started at $1.37, then it got up to $2, and then it got up to $3, then it got up almost to $4, and now it's kind of doing this. So we might see a move here occur on PXS today. So PXS is just on the back burner, back watch. Same thing with SOLO. SOLO is kind of curling up here from this big downward short play that it had. So still following SOLO on the back watch. A couple other earnings plays I'd recommend watching is Starbucks. Starbucks has good potential today for both a short or a long play. Another one on the watch will be OLED. OLED had a massive gap down in earnings from $130 down to $90. This is probably going to have a good play on it today as well. And then the last one is PBYI. PBYI. This one, again, falling short on earnings, big gap down, rolling over. This one, I believe, has room down to about $20 a share in the day. So going to be following PBYI also short. So those are all the stocks that I'll be watching here today. There's no particular long, AMD, that's another one, excuse me. So AMD is another one I'll be following. All the long plays are very dependent on market direction, so got to figure out the direction on the market before really hopping in anything today long, or else it's just there's not enough certainty there. So before hopping in long on anything today, best advice I could give is making sure you have clear direction on the overall market before doing so, or else you're going to find it very challenging to get a nice play in. So for AMD broke over the $20 mark. So once AMD breaks that, wrong chart, time frame. Okay, no, I don't like that. 10-day, 30-minute. So once AMD broke over this previous resistance at 20, that pop, right now we could see AMD potentially hold 20 and go up to fill the gap towards $24. So we could see AMD up to 24, probably not today, but if the market holds up, stays good for the next 2-3 days, we could see AMD up to 24, no problem. People love trading AMD. There's a lot of momentum behind it still. So if the market continues to favor the upside for at least 3 days, probably, we could see AMD up towards a high of 24. But that's, again, if all the stars align and things stay pretty and don't go red on us, right? So again, that's really all the stocks I'll be watching today. So really AMD, Alibaba, Apple, and a few other earnings plays right there. OLED and PBYI. Those are going to be some of the biggest plays for me today. Again, but for me, most of my trading's been better being a little bit patient on the get-go because the market's been so uncertain that I'm finding it challenging to trade the very beginning of the day. So if I do any trading right in the very beginning of the day, it's going to be super fast, and just as soon as I get some money, I'm going to take it off the table. The trades have not been following through as nicely as they have been in the past couple months in the beginning of the day because of the uncertainty in the market. So now I have to adjust to getting in and taking money very fast on the beginning of the day until the market sets up a little bit more. So those are all the stocks I'll be watching today. I hope that helps you guys determine some of the stocks that you might be trading for the day. So once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to the pre-market live stream. I hope that helps you guys determine what you're going to be trading. Do stay tuned for some videos that come later today on the trading day. And as always, hopefully you guys stay green in the day, and I'll see you guys on Monday morning for a new live stream.